Hey there, you've hit a checkpoint. I can see that you're tired from consuming so much content. So please let your brain relax a bit. And let's go through some ways to fight this aggressive and scary new internet together. So, as for what you're seeing in the background, it's my gameplay of the ambitious indev plus mod. It's a retro, nostalgic mod for a very early version of Minecraft. It's predating even alpha. I think it was released somewhere in 2010. I'm talking about the original version. And the mod, it's basically Minecraft reimagined, sort of an what if Notch hadn't quit. But that's not why you're here. I want you to go back a few years to the golden era of YouTube, where you would watch a random guy play video games for hours on end. There were no flashy captions, no Subway Surfers gameplay below the video, and well, you weren't watching some slop optimized for stealing your attention and precious time. Honestly, it was a mess. The content was unstructured and low quality, but it's what it made the old internet beautiful. People had no hidden intention other than exploring the vast lands of content and information, sharing whatever advice and interest they had, hoping they would find friends and people who think alike. Unfiltered forums, Russian cracking groups, Spanish art blogs. It was a mix of cultures. It was something different from the outside world. Had everyone from everywhere. The old internet was sort of like a private club. Not everyone had access to it. Your dad probably worked in tech or had a friend who did. Or maybe you had an older brother to show you around, to set up your OS, connect you to the internet, or bring you CDs full of obscure pirated games. It meant something. You got a proper introduction on how it works and I guess how to behave on the internet. It had a nuance that doesn't exist in the modern internet. I've always wished the internet would be more mainstream. Sometimes I found it hard to share interest with people from real life, especially growing up. How could I explain such a huge thing as the internet when I was nothing but a clueless teen? My so-called wish came true, but at a huge cost. Internet is now globally available, which is a wonderful thing. Um, Everyone has access to instant information, texting, calls, GPS location and live maps, food delivery, shopping, and so on. It has become sort of like an extension of our body and mind. Like imagine navigating a city you've never been to without Google Maps, or I don't know, trying to set up a meeting with someone without like calling or texting them. This rapid acceleration has caused a huge decrease in friction on the internet, and I guess it's starting to lose its most valuable quality, its community. Why? Because the people are disconnected from each other. We are trained to be aggressive and give our attention to big tech. To make it sound less like a huge conspiracy theory, let's go through these claims a bit more in depth. So, because it's a relatively new thing and it's evolving so fast, our minds haven't yet fully adapted to having a smartphone with internet access. We aren't used to knowing so many things, talking to so many people, watching so many videos, content of the different experiences people have. We are just overstimulated with noise that is keeping our brain foggy and distracted. We don't know what matters anymore. You let so-called gurus and influencers tell you what you want, tell you uh, what you should make of your life. People only post their best pictures on Instagram, their most interesting trips and events. Enjoyment from small things is seen as cringe or plain boring. What is the solution to this? I guess protecting your peace. Okay, so think of the terms engagement bait or rage bait. They are so often used because aggression and negativity get more reactions out of people. The numbers go up, comments go up, the creator feels good about themselves, and big corpo steals your attention and energy, getting rich on your behalf. The old internet was centered on sharing interests and valuable information and creating overall genuine connections, albeit with the occasional trolling and anonymity. But there wasn't the incentive for money. There weren't big corpo controlling the content you consume, turning you into a product. Because you know that saying, if something is free, well, I guess you're the product. In most cases, you are fighting with them, those brilliant minds, engineers who are paid millions just to make sure you are staying glued to your screen. And most importantly, you are fighting with others, other real people who share the same fate. Other people who are forced into this state of aggression with the rage bait content, with the rise of meaningless scrolling, which incentivizes dissociation, which in turn makes you forget there is someone at the other end of the screen. A person who is writing the hurtful comments or receiving them. And well, I guess the best solution to this is to protect your peace, like I said. Run, don't look back. You have nothing to gain from these platforms. Oh, but I'm trying to stay informed. No, just read the news and gain your information from official sources, official accounts. Oh, but I'm just winding down after work. No, you're not. You're actively keeping your brain engaged in a stressful state, feeding it with so much information that it gets even more tired. But no, you have nothing. You have nothing to gain from watching short form content. Okay, here, tell me the last. I mean, not even the last. Just tell me 5 TikToks you've watched today. Just 5. Come on, you've probably watched like tens, if not hundreds. 5. I'm waiting. It's very hard to fight it. By keeping the candy on the table, you are slowly losing willpower without noticing. That's why you have to go fully into this, uninstalling the apps, and just running away as far as you can, keeping these TikTok people away with a 10-foot pole. Um, you have to keep your mind in a good state, in a productive state, and not to feed it all this garbage. It takes a lot of active thinking, a lot of understanding and knowing yourself, of having self-confidence, having your life in order and your values in place to not be influenced by these apps and by these people. And it's normal not to have these skills. You need to start fortifying your mind, and you cannot do it if it's always in this vulnerable state. You need to filter the content you consume, filter the ideas of others, run them through your own train of thoughts. And how can you do that if all you do is consume other people's content? You also need to create, and you need to get bored. Hear me out. So congrats, you're no longer on short form content, you uninstalled all your apps or your shorts, but you're starting to feel an itch, a sensation that you need to fill your time with something new. You don't. You need to get in touch with your feelings and thoughts. You won't have to ask yourself what you want, what is the meaning of your life. No, these answers will come to you if you let your mind wander. You need to fight this itch and, well, Get bored because your mind can only wander when you're bored, when nothing else is stealing your attention. That's why you need to do it. When it's all quiet, when you're taking breaks from work, school, or whatever it is going in your life, this time is yours and yours only. It's sacred. This is the only time when you relax. It's the time when you get to know yourself on a deeper level and new ideas pop into mind, or even old ones reappear. You see, there's this phenomenon so popular it's got its own name and even its own subreddit. It's the idea of shower thoughts. Why? Because in the modern day, showers are the only time of day where some people are alone with themselves, not distracted by anything. You don't shower with your phone, hopefully. You don't watch YouTube while showering, again, hopefully. You have a moment of clarity, this sort of break from all the noise. You can finally see clearly and focus on what's on your mind. And that's when good ideas come, that's when good questions come, that's when the mind is most active. Another big issue, I'd say, is we're not creating stuff anymore. It's a problem for me too, frankly. I guess everything I have talked has been a problem for me at some point. But this is the most recent one I've been trying to fight, is the fact that we are just consuming way, way more than we're creating. We're always watching content, reading stuff, watching series, shows, videos, hearing others people's opinion, but we do not create in return. We don't write. Most of us don't, not even journaling. There's a need to express your creativity, your ideas. I think Minecraft is such a popular game because it lets your ideas surface and take a physical shape. Oh, it's not actually physical, it's all bytes in a computer, but you can see your progress. You can see something that's part of your mind that you can interact with that stays there. And whatever hobby you find interesting, you need to express yourself. It will make you feel so, so much better. Even just having your thoughts out in the open or on a piece of paper. It doesn't even have to be something artistic. You can just express yourself through your interests. You can skate, you can work out, do a sport, or through the way you present yourself, the way you dress, the way you talk. It doesn't always have to be something physical. It can be ideas as well. And it also doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be a piece of yourself. And you will see by practicing, you will become better at, well, at being yourself. People will notice and you will radiate a welcoming energy. I'm making these silly videos to get better at talking and forming my thoughts and to practice my English. I record most of what I'm thinking while I'm walking because you get more ideas, your brain is more stimulated and inclined to creative thinking when you're walking. Then I write everything down and edit the script a little bit. But, anyways, I hope you take a bit of my advice, formulate your own opinions, and take something valuable you can apply to your daily life. Thank you so much for making it this far, and goodbye.